Hello, Supreme Being. Nice to see you. So, today we're speaking about the biggest regret, or I wouldn't say regret. For some people, is regret. Other people is poison, and other people is something you should never do. So, it's okay if it happens, but it's better not to happen, right? So, something you should never do between you and your twin flame. You really should leave it and never do it again, or try to stay away from it, okay? You and your twin are one, okay? You guys are one, and when this happens, it means that whatever you do to yourself or to her, you are going to do to you again. So it's a reflection. It's an infinite mirror of now. So it's constantly happening. So if you don't like yourself, your twin flame is going to be affected somehow. Maybe she's not going to like herself either, or maybe she's going to like herself even more just to counter you, and so on and so forth. So that's the rule. You guys are one, even though we are one with the entire world, but you and your twin flame are really, really, really one, which means if you do something to yourself, it will change her destiny or whatever. I mean, there's no destiny, but her life is going to change, okay? That's what's going to happen. And I want to put a small disclaimer that the reason we make such videos about twin flames is because, well, it's to inspire you, you know, it's to give you motivation and to make a look at life and see it easy and simple, because that's what it is. Life is easy and simple and will always be. Just the mind and the body will always interfere to make it more and more difficult. The one who makes the most difficult is the mind. The body makes a little bit difficult, and the soul never makes it difficult. It's always simple and easy. But you know, sometimes it can be tough, and you don't have anyone to tell you anything. So what is this thing that you have to stay away from? And it is the biggest regret ever, or the biggest poison. It's guilt and accusing each other, and to say, it is her fault or it is his fault, and you never stop this loop, because even though you might be right, okay, first of all, you are satisfying your ego, and your ego is going to feel good, but you are going to have an exchange with this. You're going to feel good, and for someone to feel good, another one has to feel bad. That's the rule in the universe. I'm going to tell you why. Either everyone feels contentment, which is neutral, it's a well-being, there's no good or bad, or if you're promoting to be good, someone else is going to be bad. So you are basically trashing someone else every single time. There's a quote from Lao Tzu I will never forget, which is from Taoism. He's already dead, I think, I don't know. And it's very ancient, actually, from China. And it says like this: when good is made, evil is created. So that means that if you are promoting good because you believe it's the best, you are going to create evil. And there's a very good example of something they made here in Bulgaria, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They made a bus stop, okay, brand new, very beautiful, and all these things. Very different from another bus stop, which is more common. It's like there's designs and stuff. It's very new and modern. Nobody has asked for such a thing, okay? It's just it's more like a disservice, okay? When you don't help someone with your new idea, you are going to make a disservice instead of make a service. So that's what happens, and we feel that in the near future someone's gonna destroy this bus stop because that's the evil, okay? The evil is gonna be created because the good was made. So the only way to fix it, it's not to make evil either, it's just to be yourself, okay? When you are yourself, you're not making any good, neither evil, you're just making neutral things, okay? You're just being happy with whatever you have, okay? Even happiness is not the right thing, it's actually contentment, well-being. This is what it is. If someone is happy, someone else has to be sad, you understand? That's why when we eat sugar, which is unnatural most of the times, I mean, of course honey is natural, but most sugars on earth is already refined and modified and stuff. When you eat it, you become extremely excited and then extremely depressed, just like coffee, for example. Not saying that to avoid these things, I'm just saying what it is, and just to bring an example. So when you accuse, even though you are right, for example, your twin flame is making something bad, you are going to accuse her or accuse him or say it's his fault or her fault or she is guilty and I have nothing to do with this, and it's because of her that I'm like this. So okay, it continues the loop, and what this does is, the issue is that you are judging yourself. So basically, if whatever you say to yourself or to her, it's always directed to you, redirected to you. And that's what you have to do. You have to remember this, okay? Remember, judgment is just the worst thing ever, because God doesn't judge. Why should you? So that's the thing. Yes, I know people sometimes need to hear a good sermon or to have a slap in their face sometimes, but remember that your twin flame is much more precious and does not deserve any of these things, and I'm going to tell you why. The mirror will always reflect, so everything you do, it's always a mirror. Imagine you're speaking to a mirror, okay? You're speaking to yourself. So just calm down. I mean, who argues with a mirror? No one. So if you don't do that to your twin flame. That is if you guys are twin flames, because sometimes there's a narcissist involved, and this doesn't mean it's your twin flame whatsoever. It has to have very, very, very deep love that no one will ever understand. If it's always sarcasm and always narcissism and always punishment and stuff, this is not twin flame. This is just a torture chamber, okay? It has to be such a deep love, man. It's the one that explodes. Okay, next. We have two levels of being and two levels of perception. Have you ever realized when you were meditating for 1 hour or something? If you are one of these people, I am. Recently, because I was doing before and I stopped, but now I do again. I'm looking at the sky, it's amazingly pretty. Look at this. Beautiful. There's some clouds and stuff, it's amazing. So these two levels are very much easy to see when, especially when you are meditating for a long time, and you realize that you have just pure awareness, and another one is your ego, okay? Your ego and your personality and who you were told to be and all this and all that. The ego is not bad, neither the pure awareness is not good. There is just what it is. Now, we are supposed to find a middle path between them, because without the ego, you do not have personality, you do not have a sense of being, you do not have preference, you do not have anything, you just don't claim yourself, you are just wandering around, you become air, okay? You just move with the wind, and people will take advantage from you. That's why children are always attacked in this respect, because they do not have protection. They are just pure awareness. Well, they are pure awareness and they trust everyone and everything, and that's why they get affected. But that's how we should be, always trusting each other. Of course, when we develop some enough core beliefs and enough ego to withstand some stress and to have thick skin, then we are able to get over with, you know, life and problems and stuff. Actually, problems do not exist. It's again another interpretation of the mind, and that we live in misery and whatever. It can go a very long talk, but I just want to say that remember that you guys are pure awareness. If you don't know what it feels like to be pure awareness, meditate for 1 full hour. And when you are meditating, I'm gonna say very, very quick, but if you want, guys, I can make a proper video about it. But basically meditating is just arranging shelves where you put your clothes or your things. These clothes and things are your thoughts, and the room is your mind, and the shelves are where you're gonna stack your thoughts. Okay, you're gonna clean them there, you're gonna arrange them there. So imagine when you wake up in the morning, your bed needs to be made, you need to broom a little bit and do all these things. Well, the same you have to do with your mind, because otherwise it's going to become wild, it's going to become dirty. Why do we clean our house and we don't clean our mind? I mean, it doesn't make sense. A person who has a very toxic mind sometimes is a very mad person cleaning, because he just wants to clean himself and or herself and cannot. But because the truth is just to meditate very deep and clean everything. And how you clean it? Well, when you're meditating, you just don't focus on anything, and thoughts will jump all over you. You just don't pay attention, continue your meditation. It's okay if you lose focus and you stay stuck on a thought for 1 minute or two. Just continue meditating, and before you realize it, you're gonna start to find a gap of 1 or 2 minutes without thoughts, and then it's gonna come thoughts again. And it's okay, you're fixing yourself. But even if you never did a very deep meditation, do once at least, and for 1 hour. And even if it was a very bad meditation, okay, doesn't exist. Next time that you do again the meditation, in 10 minutes it's gonna be crazy, and then the rest it's gonna be perfect. No thoughts, nothing. Whew. And that's it, guys. When you clean your mind, you're gonna have a much brighter perspective of who you are. It doesn't mean that you're gonna stay like this forever. It doesn't exist. You have to be your ego and your pure awareness every single day. So just learn to live with them both. And that's it. So guilt, accusing, and saying that whose fault, that's the worst thing that can happen. You guys can really kill each other if you cannot stand it, because it's just horrible saying it's your fault. When you say this, you just feel like, who the hell are you to tell me this? And you're saying this to the other person, but it's actually saying to yourself, and it's a big loop that it's just self-destruction. So guys, much peace, much love, stay together, and have a nice, amazing day between you and your twin flame, okay? Just like me and Petya. See you in the next video.